Welcome to your daily devotional with me, PMV. This Christmas week, we've been exploring the traditional Advent themes of joy, hope, peace, and love. Today, we'll be looking at the theme of hope. Hope is not something that's concrete where we can just grab it, hold it, and say, here it is, I have hope. But we know when we have it as well as when we don't. In fact, I would say that there is not much more crushing to the human spirit than to lose hope. When we lose hope, all of life just seems bleak. So how do we have hope? How do we keep hope? And how does that affect our day-to-day lives? There's the old story of the fishing boat trying to make its way back to shore. It's late at night. There's a storm that's come in. It's very dark. The waves are beating the boat, and the sailors also know that there are rocks that they need to watch out for, that if they do not navigate the ocean carefully, and if they do not come into the harbor in an exact way, they may crash upon the rocks and be drowned in the dark and the storm and the waves and the wind and all that is happening. So they begin to get afraid. They're beginning to lose hope. There's no way for us to safely make it to shore. And then they see what? They see the lighthouse. They see the light from the lighthouse. And that light that is piercing the darkness gives them a steady course to navigate, to make it into the harbor safe and sound. They have hope that they can make it safely home because of the light that they see. Everyone is hoping in something. For those of us who believe in Jesus Christ, He is our hope. He is our living hope. He is the one that is guiding us through this life, and we are trusting to safely bring us home to heaven. And you know what? Trusting in Jesus does not make you weak. It doesn't make you a lesser person. There are people that they want to be so self-confident, so self-assured that the thought of trusting in another, of putting your faith in Jesus, that just seems like weakness to them. But the reality is, it is a great strength. Because to put our hope in Jesus means that we understand that Jesus will take us far further than we could ever go on our own. And that's not just in this life, but that is for the life to come. That Jesus really is the best. To trust in Him, to make Him our hope, is actually very wise. It's not weak at all. So as we come to 1 Peter chapter 1, I want to read verses 3 through 5 that talks about this living hope that we have in Jesus. It says, "Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who according to His abundant mercy has begotten us again to a living hope through the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead." So what God has done is He has born us again. He's brought us into a living hope that is tied up in Jesus, His death, burial, His resurrection. That as Jesus has died and He is risen, and as He is alive, now we have life in Him. That is our hope. Our hope is in Jesus. It's who He is and what He has done. But it continues on from there. It says, to an inheritance incorruptible and undefiled, and that does not fade away, reserved in heaven for you. So this hope is also to come. For a believer in Jesus Christ, the best is yet to come, always. Now, does God want to bless us and use us and to know the riches of His goodness in this life? Yes. Will we also experience trials and tribulations and hardships in this life? Yes. But we know that no matter what our day holds or what we face, for the believer, our future is secure. And in Jesus, the future is the best. The best is yet to come. But then verse 5 says, who are kept by the power of God through faith for salvation, ready to be revealed in the last time. So this living hope has this tension here. There's hope now that we can live with, but there's more to come. But don't forget, it's also now. And this hope that we have is very directly tied to our perspective of Jesus. Is He front and center in our lives? Are our lives focused on Him? Are our minds focused on Him? Is He the center of everything? I would say to the extent that Christ is the center of your life, your focus, the way that you view things, that is the degree to which you will have hope. It's when we lose sight of Jesus and we begin to trust in ourselves and we look to the circumstances and the strength of others and we're scrambling to create our own situations or circumstances of hope. Man, that's when it gets tough. But when we can give our lives over to Jesus, it's not weakness, it's strength, the strength to surrender and say, you are the Lord of the universe. And no matter what this life holds, there is hope in you because you have died, you have risen, you reign victoriously, and my future is secure in you. And you love me now, and you have good things for me now as well. So have hope. Look to Jesus. He will never disappoint. I hope today's been a blessing to you. For more information, you can go to pmvministries.org. Have a great day.